I started my career as a support worker, not actually wanting a career in care. I actually wanted a moped, and I thought, how hard can it be to make little old ladies cups of tea? But actually, once I got into it, I realised how much I really loved it. It's so rewarding. I started my career in older people's services, and I just loved making a difference to people's lives. It was just joyous. There's been lots of things that have inspired me over time, but one of the things that always keeps me going is the fact that my mum's got a brain injury and has subsequent mental health problems, and she's always been the reason why I do what I do is to make sure people can get great care and support, because that's what I wanted for my mum. Starting my career as a support worker, I progressed in various roles. As a senior support worker, as a deputy manager, I worked in hospitals, but ultimately ended up being the Chief Executive Officer of Milewood, which is where I am today. When I joined Milewood, I was tasked with bringing the business together as one. It had operated as different entities as the businesses had expanded, improving systems and processes, but more importantly, improving the quality of care and support that we provide to vulnerable people. In the last 2 years, Milewood has spent significantly on improving our estate. So we've spent just under £5 million improving the environments, our existing environments, making them fit for purpose, refurbishing them to a high standard. And that's really, really important to me, because I believe that the people we support should live in quality environments and our colleagues should work in quality environments. When I joined the business, we did a full operational review of the organisation, and there was a couple of things that we decided to sell that we didn't think were going to meet our expectations, and we were able to reinvest that capital into developing new services. So I'm really proud of the solo provision we've been developing up in the northeast, which has been supporting individuals with complex needs out of more restrictive settings. But equally, we've been able to buy other homes where they would benefit from the skills and experience of a larger operator. So for instance, we bought a home just recently which the quality of care was second to none, but actually the environment needed some investment and the infrastructure needed some investment. And I'm really proud that we as an organisation have been able to deliver that, or we're in the process of delivering that, which means that home is now sustainable for the longer term. When I joined Milewood, the staff attrition, so our staff turnover, sat at 37%, so that meant 37% of our workforce was leaving us every year, which is quite high for the sector. As of last month, our staff attrition is down at 20%, which means we've got more of our own people staying with us for longer. We've got less agency workers in the business. But actually 20% is below the industry average. Skills for Care have just recently published a report that say the staff attrition or staff turnover for the sector is around 28%. So I'm really proud that whilst we've been on a journey of change, we've been able to also do more to make our staff want to work here. Again, our colleagues are our greatest asset. When I joined, 67% of our colleagues were happy working for Milewood, and in our latest staff survey we did actually get that to just under 90%, which is something I'm really, really proud of. One of the things that really stand out for me in the last 2 years is the culture that we've created at Milewood as one Milewood family, I guess, where the culture of the business is that we all have the same job, and that's to make sure the people we support have great lives and our colleagues working with us have great lives. We've all got a different role to play in that and a different piece of the jigsaw, but I'm really proud of that culture of can do, let's try, and let's constantly innovate. Equally, our culture of transparency, and it's, things go wrong, tell us and we can help support you. The other thing I'm immensely proud of at Milewood is we've been able to move away from being a minimum wage employer. So when I joined, I was really, really clear with our owners that, care is a wonderful job, and our support workers deserve to be paid more than the national living wage, and our board agreed to that. And we've had the pleasure over the last 2 years to be able to start to move that gap with the ambition of getting to be a living wage employer by, in the next couple of years, providing the funding supports that movement. The other thing that I'm immensely proud of at Milewood is the outcomes for some of the people we support. I started my career as a support worker, and I loved being a support worker. And I'm loving hearing that how the things that we've put in place at Milewood have enabled people to have outcomes, and outcomes, you know, large and small. We've supported people to move on into less restrictive settings, but equally we've supported individuals who have had significant issues with alcohol to cut down their use and to live a normal life. You know, I can think of a number of the individuals where they're out doing activities, they're going to football games. You know, I heard the other day of individuals we support out on a boat in a lake. Yeah, they're just wonderful to hear about, and it's really nice that Milewood now has the structure in place that enables that to take place as standard. It's not a special thing, it's what we would expect our teams to do. Milewood, I'm really proud that we've introduced 2 engagement forums, one for the people we support and one for our colleagues that are working with us. And what that does is that enables the people we support, firstly, to engage and tell us in a group forum actually what we can do better, how we can make life better for them. So what that group does is it collects the views of other service users, and it meets, and they hold me as the chief exec to account for the stuff they want me to do better. So that's in its infancy, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how that evolves. And that group will meet our board of directors in March of 26. The other thing I'm immensely proud of, and that is now operational, is we've got our colleague engagement group. Again, on a very similar vein, it's a group of our colleagues that collect the views of our other colleagues and very much support and guide us in actually what can we do to make Milewood a better place to work, and be it, you know, what learning opportunities can we do, how do we communicate better, equally how can we be more efficient, and again I'm really looking forward to seeing how that evolves and how it holds the exec to account. Milewood today consists of 49 sites. I refer to it as being the north of the UK, with our little few in Suffolk. We support up to 413 individuals across our network, and we've got a staff team of just over 900. And we look after people who are learning disabled, with mental health problems, with autism and with challenging behaviour, and we do that in a mixture of settings, including residential care, in supported living, and in specialist nursing service. I'm immensely proud of what we've achieved at Milewood, but we have still so much more to do. But we'll only do growth if we think it's safe and we think we can do it well. I don't want to deliver growth for the sake of delivering growth, and our board are very keen and invested in knowing that where we grow, we do it well and not for the sake of. I think you'll see environments that are much better. You know, we've still got a lot of work to do around ESG and our carbon footprint, and that's on the agenda to do. You know, how do we look at solar panels for our sites? How do we look at electric cars for our homes? I'd like to see more training opportunities for our staff. I've had the joy of benefiting from leadership training. We introduced leadership training at Milewood for our managers, but actually how do we get the next support workers to be the next seniors? How do we get the next seniors to be the next deputies, and how do we get the next deputies to be the next managers? So what we want to do at Milewood is deliver proper career pathways, because you can have a career in care. You know, the perception that care is a dead-end job is absolutely not the truth. So we want to do more of that. You know, we're working on innovation around actually how do we get more graduates into health and social care as a career. So yeah, there's lots to go at and lots of opportunities, and I'm confident that in the next couple of years Milewood will be bigger and better than it is today, and I think it's pretty big and pretty good right now.